Okay, now that you have your dropout fully installed and it is adjusted to be empty, works nicely, sits on its own, is not overly sprung, but it's empty. But now when we add weight to it, this will have to be readjusted to balance for the content load. Okay, now it's fully loaded with 36 brand new spice bottles, the heavy glass style of bottle, as heavy a load as it should ever have in it. And you can see without having done any adjustment, it's much too heavy for the adjustment. So what we'll do is I'll show you from the back side here how to adjust the adjuster. See on the back side here, this is the adjuster screw. And what you're doing is you're adjusting the leverage that the high tension spring has over the load. With it set far back, the load has a lot more leverage against the spring. We're going to bring it out to where the spring is picking up the load more. This is where you need that 3/16 hex drive again on your extension, and in the clockwise direction to increase the load strength. Run that out a ways, and then you can test it and see where the amount of lift you have, the amount of pull down you have, and it should be able to stop pretty much anywhere without any additional movement to it. You do not want it to be set to where it will come down on its own. You want to be sure that you always have some pull down resistance to it. Okay, now with your adjustment set where you're working nicely when it's full, it should still have some extra space in it. The reason why you want more weight on the lift than the pull down, so that if you take some contents out, it won't be moving up on its own. I can take 6 bottles out here. These are heavy full bottles, and yet it still is going to be working on its own as it's supposed to. If you were to take too many bottles out, then it would take off on its own and move up. And you don't want it to do that. In a case like that, if you're cleaning the unit or whatever, that's what this thumb screw is on the back here for. There's a hole right here that's threaded. Make sure the unit is all the way down. Thread that screw in. My right hand. And run it in all the way. Make sure that it catches under the bar. Now then, the unit cannot go up on its own. So that way you could take everything out, clean the trays, fill the bottles, whatever you want to do, put everything back, and when you have everything back again, take that out and you haven't had to change any adjustment. It'll be adjusted the same as it was to begin with.